Greetings and salutations. Thank you for coming back to PinkOddBird. I'm super excited to be here today because I finally finished my very first book and I'm happy to share it with you all. Just a couple of things. I know traditionally, I think when you make books, you probably use a stack of themed paper. Well, I'm a little bit of a rebel. And so what I did was I had a vision for my book. It is themed, but I didn't see anything as far as a stack of themed paper goes that was fitting my vision completely. So I wanted to pick all my papers individually. So I did that. So I handpicked all the papers that I used for my book. And as you can see, there are lots of different kinds of paper here. I will add these in the description if you're interested to know what I used. So that's the paper. And I would also like to note that for the book that I built, I did it entirely based off of the tutorial for Ben Creates. So thank you very much, Ben, for that awesome tutorial. I don't know what it is about all the tutorials I've seen, the way that he laid it out and explained it totally just clicked in my head. And I said, I'm basing my book off of this. So thank you for that. I will put his page in the description as well so you can check him out. So my book is themed off of the show American Horror Story Freak Show series. That's my favorite series season of that show. And my book is inspired by that. I didn't do anything fabulous or fantastic to the side or back of the book, but I did cover the spine in red burlap. And I wanted this book to look like it owned to like the mechanic of the traveling carnival. So I used tons of black soot distress ink in this book, and I love how it all turned out. Everything is dirty and grimy. Even the burlap took well to that distress ink, so I'm happy about that. So it looks really dirty, and I'm really happy about that. For the cover, I have the word fun, and for that I did just add a little bit of a few like red streaks, and that's just red permanent marker, and then I covered it all up with black soot and walnut stain. This is just a little piece of ephemera that I got at a local scrapbooking store. The chipboard was just a piece of plain chipboard, and I drew the tint on there, and then I glued the words on top of it after I covered them in walnut stain. And I think a little bit of black soot. The mesh that you see here came from a bag, like the sacks that oranges or clementines come in, and I just added black acrylic paint to that to make it have like a little bit of a dirty look. I don't know if you can see that. And then the two green, kind of what you see, are balloons. That's what they're supposed to be. I have some twine in there, but the green are actually a pair of old earrings that I didn't wear anymore, so I added those in there, and they're like glittery. I don't know if you can see that. And then I covered them in black soot. So that's the cover. Opening it up, I have a large pocket here. I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet, but it's there. The word monsters here, and those are the Tim Holtz little letterings. Swing tab, and then we have an opening. For the most part, I did most of my everything the same as Ben Creates, but there are some areas that I might have done a few things differently. So I've got a mat in there. And then opening up, I fussy cut these clowns out of, I don't know, paper or something that I had. And then I just have these little cards in here that I will write on the backs of, and they all have like little different, I don't know if you can see that, things on them. So it tucks. And then here, I just did a pocket with this mat in it, paper on the back. I did just, and then on the front one, I have actually a pocket on the mat, so another mat in there. So that's that page. And all of the pockets, pages have side pockets. So I've got this one here. And you can see I really went to town with the black soot. I don't know. I love that. I think that's my favorite distress ink of all. And then the back, so you can see the paper for that side. And then here, just a simple pocket page with two mats. Left some of them blank because, I don't know, I might use the entire space for something different, and I don't want to cover up all of the paper. So I left some of those plain. Over here, there's a waterfall page. Twine and Brad's holding this together. I will open this so you can see the wonderful papers that are on the inside there. All covered in black soot. I don't know if you can really see that on the camera or not, but I love that distress ink. Here on this on the side pocket here, made this one a little bit different. I put a tag in here that I made. I don't know if you can see, but it's got washi tape and stamps. Ticket stamp says "Life is a Circus" stamp. And then on the back I just did some lines and distress ink. And then here I put a little eyelet. These were like 2 little cards that I just put together, and then I made them like this, so I will write on the insides of those. And then on the back of this pull out, there's a little piece here, and then I made another little spot here with pull out. So that's that one. And then on this page, really simple, couple of mats, and then another one of those little writing spots that I made. This one has a ribbon on it. I didn't put a ribbon on the other one because I didn't want the inside of this pocket getting too bulky. Over here is the other half of that piece that I know you saw on the front cover, so I just cut it in half and used it as a stopper here. I believe in Ben Creates tutorial he did pull from a couple of other inspirations, and I think this was one of the Kathy Orta inspired pages. So that's what this page is. I made a tag here. I don't know if you can see, I put a couple eyelets in there, just some stamps, and I just used a marker to kind of do the stitching around the sides. I don't know if that's clear or not. But and then there's some twine and ribbon. I didn't put a lot of like ephemera or stuff like that on this because it needed to be able to slide behind the belly band, so kind of kept it a little bit simple, but I like it. On the top, we've got the little pull out here with the pages and the labels. I love this paper so much. And I know that it wasn't like a whole like theme of a set of paper, but I think it came out, in my opinion, I think I like the way it looks. Over here, a space to tuck, tuck, tuck. Another one of those little writing spots. And then there's a big pocket here with the big mat that I put in there. And then the word odd here. Another big mat there. Next page. This is the back side of that mat. And I love that paper so much because it just really made me feel like it belonged in this book. Like, if you can see how it move, you know, the way it looks when I move it. Super cool. I love that one. And then I did just a simple pocket page here with a mat and then 2 little, whoops, sorry about that. Sorry. And then on this page, I think it was, Ben mentioned it was inspired by Corinne Creates. So that's what this page was inspired by, and I think he called it Bonus Pocket. I did a piece of velvet paper here, and then I glued some sequins onto that. And then I have a little pull out here. And then this little piece is another one of those instances where I put an eyelet in, and then I will write on this with a white gel pen, and I punched the borders. It says collections here. That's one of the Tim Holtz, and then it's got a little ticket stopper here. It's a magnet closure, and then it's got 2 pockets. I think I messed up on this page because the big pocket is supposed to be like, you know, the rest of these pockets where they're on the side of the page, but in this instance, it's enclosed with the flap, but it's okay. And so there's 2 pockets here, so bonus pocket, and then I have a little mat here, and then on this side, it's like a tuck spot, so you can tuck stuff in. So that's what that. Ba-da-ba-ba, I can talk. Okay, so that's that page. Here, simple again, a couple of mats and beautiful paper with 1 pocket, and then another of those writing spots that I did, a little pocket there. Over here, we've got a swing tab closure, and then here I did just a little mat with the tuck spot. And then here, another one of those writing areas. So that closes and then opens again. It's a magnet closure. And then it opens again. And there's a pocket here. And then here, it's a mat. I left it plain on the back. And then here, I just cut out a bunch of 4 different images from 4 different areas. Like, I don't know if they were like cards or paper, but I used them as the stopper for this. So I think that was pretty cute. Super cute, really. All right. And then on this mat, I used this piece of paper and because it reminded me of like a fun house. One of those funhouse mirrors, the rooms that you walk in with the crazy like mirrors that make you look all cattywampus. So this was actually a piece of duct tape paper, and this little baby was a challenge to put on, to say the least. You have to be really ready for that. But and then here's the back of that mat. And then this is the last page, one of my favorites. It says Carnival. And I just kept it really simple because I love this paper. Carnival, border punch. I put the same velvet paper here. And then I put Curiosities and I glued that on with Fabri-Tac glue. And then here's the paper. And then I just left it plain on the back. In the back of the book, I did like a pocket. These little pieces of cardstock are just placeholders. But I wanted this, it's like a swinging pocket. And I wanted it to kind of look like a bag of popcorn. And I just crumpled the pages. I crumpled the paper down a little bit and glued it so it'll stay that way. And it's actually little popcorn pieces. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not. Then flipping it on the back of that, I made it this way so that I can slide something in here, as you can see. So it's like I'll pop something right in here just like that. And then in the very, very back of the book, I have a large belly band. And then I made this little, like, it's a 5-page signature, so folded it makes 10 pages of coffee stained paper, and I lined it with vintage photo on the edges of the paper and on the inside of the paper, like in the seam areas. So I love that. That's the end of my book. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I know I had a really great time creating this book. Thank you for the tutorials that you guys all put out there. Thank you especially Ben Creates for your tutorial. And I have started working on my next book. It's for my husband. It's going to be a music themed book. So, and he's got a completely different style than I do. Mine is, you know, more kind of creepy, kind of dirty style, vintagey. And he's really like a sleek and dapper. So his book will be a lot more refined, I guess, not made to look so oldie. So again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining, and I will be back later. See you next time. Bye.